Listen, fuckers. I am really fucking tired. I'm thinking about a lot today. A lot has been new. Some things have worked out. Being called Violet helps parts of me that are usually largely dissociated and disconnected, sort of hovering further back, almost like behind other parts of me, realize that I'm back and come more to the front. It reminds me that I'm not fully here if I'm not, and it helps ground me to myself if I am. And being called Kyrie now only pulls some parts forwards beyond others. And those parts, I think, are better at learning to stay present anyway. So I am going to officially be going by Violet, for now at least. That helps the part of me that would have formerly gone by Nightshade TM be in front with the other parts, sort of very close connected, almost like bleeding through me from behind. It's like we're a pyramid or something, like a triangle V formation. And it seems to be important, like, we've experienced this before and it's so hard to explain because it was like it mattered who was in the front of my subsystem as we fused, and certain shapes wouldn't work, like wouldn't feel like we melded right or could click together. It's like there wasn't space for us to seem to be able to come together and fuse if some parts were in front. And we've usually had to do this, like, because when I had a subsystem, inside there's the main headspace where we all like engage. So say if I'm sitting in the van, which is how we front, Vince is in riding shotgun next to me, and I'm in the, well, they're both kind of the steering wheel driving seat. It's like a learner car, but it used to be that my body would change when we had subsystems. It kind of still does, but it's different now. Because there'd be that headspace with the van, and you go back inside the van, and like the doors are open to the house. You can go out the house, you can walk around the fields and explore that entire world, and that's like the inner world that we all interact with, have our own bodies, speak to each other. And then there's inside me, where there wasn't like a intricate world. Well, there was, but it was kind of just dark. Like it was a bit void-like, really. But there were many different versions of me and parts of me, and we could all take the front and take it in turns to front, and it would make the body change, age and size and that kind of look in the headspace where we all see each other. Now it's like, it seems to sort of subtly be changing over time as we fuse, and it's been a bit stable for a little while. It changes depending on, but it's like it changes back and forth between just a couple of ways we look, depending on if I'm grounded to the front, like ahead of other parts of me, or if they're ahead of me. And this seems to matter. If I'm like inside me and like drifting back from the front, then other parts of me seem less sensitive to like our emotions and our experiences. Like our emotions are affected less by our experiences. I get tunnel vision, so everything seems like a little bit less close by. And it's like it loses a layer of reality, and everything kind of gets a bit quieter. I don't really notice, but it's like it's further away. And one of the things I can tell that other parts of me are in front of me with, and that I'm further back, is I notice we're talking louder. Like my voice changes, and then I notice that we're speaking louder because everything's gotten quieter and feels like I feel more distant and more vague, and I speak louder. But if I pull myself to the front and other parts are slightly behind me, then it's like I feel like we all feel more physically present and real, and everything's clearer and brighter and louder, and I get sensory like overwhelm way more. It's like it feels like if they were like a type of liquid or something and I was the mold, it makes more sense for me to be the mold that they fill with their attributes and things that they hold, and then that seems to bring reality more into view, give us a better connection to our body, to our emotions, to our emotional body, to our senses, and then improved greatly by like animal alters and parts in this fusion bleeding through / into me as the mold, and their perception of our senses is like way more intense. Oh God, I'm so tired. I don't feel like I have the energy left to like it's hard to hold myself into the body and like here and not drift back. None of us are used to feeling anything in this detail. The realness of all of our sensory perception, the intensity of our emotions, and the physical sensations in the body. Like I can tell when my leg's going to sleep really quickly, and I can't usually. It takes a long time, or it takes something getting more intense to get through to me. Like other parts of me being in front of me create this kind of shielding or buffer for me. And I think about how when we were like 6 or 7, I split off and I became a vampire alter. It felt like I'd died. That was just how the brain dealt with it. I stopped being aware of things like breathing and heartbeat, body sensations, ability to connect to her emotions. And I think about how it's like I held the key to those things, or the circuitry that ran that stuff could only be accessed with me. But with me so disconnected from every other part of me, I was missing I'm not sure. It's like some parts of me are the key and some parts are the lock, and you need both together to get all of it. And then suddenly we're all like, whoa, fuck. It's an intense experience. And I think about what was happening at the time, where those were some of the years of the most brutal moments of abuse that I'm getting more and more memories of. I particularly have more connection to than other parts of me. And I think about how things are more real, more intense, more tangible, more there. I have deeper experiences in every level with me here. And I wonder if the brain, did it like... I wonder if that's why it made me dead or undead. I did feel like I died. And then also I lost connection to all the things that make you feel alive. And it seems like my connection to those is the connection that all parts of me need to use to feel it. And as I've been fusing more lately, I felt like I came back to life. I can feel my heartbeat, and I'm very aware of my need to breathe. I actually feel the impact of it if I don't. I can feel the body. I'm not ice cold all the time. There's a lot that seems really significant to me. And it's both being really grateful and fucking amazed by what I can feel, and being shocked and overwhelmed by it, and it's either having to take time backing behind other parts of me for that distance, or just being so drained, so exhausted, so triggered, so dissociated that I float backwards and don't even notice. It's a lot. It's so much to deal with. And then, like, this is when insecurities and everything will get more intense, because I'm not used to feeling all of these things, and feeling so alive and, yeah, unguarded, vulnerable, real, connected, close to the people I'm talking to, unprotected. It's a lot that's new in every level, like physical sensations, emotions, thought patterns, beliefs. The way I think, the things I think of, everything's new to me. The way it feels to be alive. I love that. And it's terrifying. And I don't want it to stop or change ever. I love having sensory information, being able to be aware of my body and everything, like breathing, like moving, like the feeling of my jacket on me. I didn't know that mascara was so fucking uncomfortable, but I still like knowing that. It's like it all comes linked together as well. All of the reality and all of the feelings of really being alive. And all the reasons that I didn't, all the reasons that I stopped feeling it when we were 6 or 7. And everything that killed me or made me feel like I wasn't alive. I'm so angry. I'm so tired.